Hey guys, Techify, and today I've got another mouse review for you. This one's a little bit different because I'm doing the Razer DeathAdder Essential, which has been out for quite a long time, and it's usually $50 or £50. However, right now it's on sale on Amazon for $30 or £35. As much as I love the watch time, if this mouse is $50 or £50 still, go watch one of my other videos, don't buy this mouse. However, at $30 or £35 it's a little bit more competitive, but I'm going to find out if you should buy it or whether you should still avoid it even at that lower price point. If you do find this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. But obviously you got to watch it first, so guys, let's get into this. The DeathAdder Essential follows the shape of the normal DeathAdder, so it's an ergonomic mouse and it's a pretty large size. It's 127mm long, 61.7mm wide and 42.7mm high. It is quite big, and therefore if you have particularly small hands, this mouse probably isn't too comfortable unless you're a palm user. Palm users should find this mouse very comfortable. The large ergonomic shape does quite well for it. For claw users, really small hands, I would say maybe not. For me, with my hands at 17cm by 8.5cm, I could claw it fairly comfortably. However, I did have a little bit of an issue getting my little finger comfortable. For fingertip users, you're going to have larger hands, or go for a semi-ambidextrous, or just a different mouse in general. It's not great for fingertip. Personally, I couldn't fingertip this mouse at all. It certainly isn't a light mouse either, weighing in at 96 grams. Obviously that's not for me, but it could be for some people, and that's kind of the point of the DeathAdder. It is a larger, heavier mouse, but just bear that in mind that it doesn't feel particularly agile, as 96 grams is certainly fairly heavy. Performance-wise, Razer uses their own sensor with a maximum DPI of 6400. And it's not bad sensor, it was responsive and accurate enough, but it certainly isn't great either. There are other mice at this price point, or even at the $40 price point, that would absolutely put this sensor to shame. It also had quite a high lift-off distance of 8 playing cards. That and the high weight of 96 grams meant that lifting it off to readjust the mouse led to a lot of cursor jiggle and little jitters, which personally I couldn't put up with. The primary mouse clicks weren't great, but they're okay for $30. They're on par with other mice at this price point. They did have a little bit of pre-travel and didn't feel amazing, but they were also fine. Here's a sound test if you're interested of the left click and the right click. The side buttons weren't too bad. They were quite big and they don't take a lot of force to use, which can be a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. But with the way I gripped this mouse, I didn't activate them accidentally, so the side buttons are actually something I could deal with. The scroll wheel goes back to bad though. I didn't like the feel of it. I found myself double scrolling a lot. It had a bit of a sound to it and a bit of a rattle, and I honestly just didn't like the scroll wheel. Here's a sound test of it scrolling, clicking, and that rattle I was talking about. The feet were terrible, they were inconsistent, they felt like sandpaper, and I really didn't like them. That's the best way I can put it. I'll also I don't usually do it with the feet, but I'll give a little test so you can hear how they sound, as it just wasn't nice. I hated the feet. Similarly, the cable, it is braided and it's very stiff. I didn't like that either, it was terrible to be honest. The lighting was also underwhelming. You get single colour green and a couple of basic effects in the Razer Synapse software, which is good software, but you can't really do a lot with this mouse. On the note of the software, you do have to have it. There's no way to change the DPI on the mouse, so that is annoying since you do also have to create an account and sign in with Razer Synapse. A lot of people were frustrated by this and I completely understand that. Only being green lighting, I would understand if they'd save money on the lighting to add performance in other places, but it feels like corners have been cut everywhere and the price not enough. Overall, I'm very disappointed with this mouse. At $50, it's an absolute joke. At $30, it's a little bit better value for money, but it's still not all there. I'd say this mouse is worth about $20 at a push. It's definitely a stripped down, essential version. Everything has been cut, the performance and looks are terrible. The only people I could maybe recommend this mouse to is if the upper limit of your budget is $30 and you have particularly large hands and you're a palm user, or maybe you just have big hands and you want to claw this mouse. I personally just wouldn't buy this mouse at all though. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please leave a like and even consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to look as cool as me, and I know you do, you can get yourself some merch at techify.co.uk/merch. For your next video, check out a better mouse such as the SteelSeries Rival 3, which is also just $30, and I'll tell you right now is a lot better value for money than the DeathAdder Essential. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.